Okay, this would be Western Cape's paper, 2025 September. It's not too difficult of a paper, but again, we're leaving out complete level 4 questions. We'll come back, I'll highlight it, and we'll do that in a separate video. For now, we're aiming for 80%. But the first question, solve for x. Again, you need the factors because they didn't expect you to use the minus b formula. But if you did, if you didn't, this would be 3x plus 2. X minus 3 equals to 0. And x equals to minus 2 over 3. Or x equals to 3. Now, in this question, you would get a mark for the factor. And you would get 2 marks there. But if you use the minus b formula, and you only got this part, then you would get 2 out of 3. Imagine losing a free mark. So even if you use the minus b formula, just go back and put the opposite in the factors. If you guys that don't know how to deal with the fractions, quite simple. X equals to minus 2 over 3. You take the 3 over as 3x equals to minus 2. And 3x plus 2. And that's all. That's all there is. Okay. Well, let me leave this on the screen for you guys. Just in case you want to figure out how to go back into the factors, that'll be minus 2 and 3x plus 2. So you get a mark for this factor. See the next question, they expect you to use the minus b formula. But this question is a problem. So 2x squared plus 5x minus 4 equals to 0. Remember, our a value is 2, our b value is 5, our c value is minus 4. So that's minus b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. Now we work with the next part, which is the substitution. That's minus into 5 plus or minus the square root 5 squared minus 4 into a into c all over 2 into a. Okay, and then our two answers are x equals to 0.64, x equals to minus 3.14. And that's all there is to this part. The next one, again, the moment you see this in question 1, we understand. Draw a graph and simplify. So the factors matter here, but also the critical values, right? So you could get a mark for the factors or the critical value. It's up to you. You can use the minus b formula if you want again. And when you do this, what happens is you end up with two critical values, x equals to 7, x equals to minus 3. Now you can go and use interval notation if you want. Right? I generally prefer the parabola graph because it's a rough sketch. You don't need to do anything else. There's minus 3. There's 7. You don't need to go and sketch it with a ruler or anything. I mean, but just make sure the numbers are visible at least. Not as bad as my graph, but yeah. But if you don't want to do that, and if you're more IEB, that's minus 3 is less than their x, which is less than 7. But could be there. You could use interval notation, but either one is fine. Okay. The next one is whenever you have a root, please remember that you have to test your answer because one of the answers most likely don't work out. And you get a mark for that answer that does not work out, right? So test means take your x answer and put it back into this question and see if the left-hand side equals the right-hand side. But for now, I'm going to take the square over, the square root actually. I'm going to take the square root over and I'm left with x plus 1 squared. I'm going to open this up with FOIL, or you guys can use your SMS thing that you guys deal with, but this is x squared plus 2x plus 2. That's 2x plus 3. Yeah, we can simplify this as x squared plus, ooh, a little bit of a problem, huh? Because firstly, I'm a bit blind because that was -1. So yeah, it's -1. So that's minus 2x. So this is x squared minus 4x, and that will be 2. You know, guys, it's very simple to make a mistake here. So just double check, because including myself, if I'm going to use shortcuts, this is x squared. I can already see where I made a mistake, but I'm going to do it fully because just to show you that I looked at it wrong. This is minus 2x plus 1. This is plus 1, right? Yeah. I mean, if you can do it in one step, go for it. But if not, just watch out, because it's very simple to make a mistake. And most of the time, in the exam, you are not going to be able to realize you made a mistake. Okay. So this first part is quite simple. We know for a fact that we're using the minus b formula a little bit too much, but we use the minus b formula, and or you use the shortcut version in your calculator, but the answer should be 1, -4, and -2. So I'm going to get x equals 2. Guys, I get an answer that makes me think I'm wrong, but since I did this question before, I know I'm not wrong. But most of the time, you would not get answers. I guess you would get whole numbers. But for now, both of this works. So I'm going to put this into the question, and this one works out. I'm going to put this into the question, and this one does not work out. So you get an extra mark for saying it does not work out. The next one is the simultaneous. So we're going to deal with equation 1 and equation 2. Okay. Of course, equation 3 is coming from equation 1. It's less complicated to deal with. That's equation 3. And we know simultaneous is sub 3 into 2 for now, because I used 1. So let's deal with it. This is x squared plus y squared. Y is 7 minus 2x squared minus 2x into 7 minus 2x equals to 9. Now, even this part, it's very simple to make a mistake, and you won't even realize it. So just make sure to double check with the FOIL. I think going forward, I'll just do FOIL completely so that we don't have a problem. Okay. And that equals to 9. Right. This equals to x squared plus, that's 49. 7 times 7 is 49. That's minus 14x minus 14x plus 4x squared. Right. Then this is minus 14x again plus 4x squared. And yeah, equals to 9. Let me deal with all the like terms quickly. So that's 1, 2, 3. A little bit of an annoying one, but yeah. 14, 14, 28, 28 plus 14, 38, 38, 42. 42x. 1, 2, 3, that's 9x squared. And this one is 49 minus 9 is 40. Guys, I double check even 1 plus 1, so just make sure we deal with it. A, B, and C. Use the minus B formula, you will get 2 answers. So Make sure we double check after we use the minus b formula on this part, or you use the shortcut part. You and I would end up as x equals to 10 over 3, or x equals to 4 over 3. What you would do next is you would substitute. Okay, what you would do next is you would substitute straight into the y value, third equation actually. So our third equation should be y minus 2x plus 7, y equals to minus 2x plus 7. It's the exact same thing, I just swapped it around. And when you substitute here, 10 over 3 plus 7, y equals to minus 2, 10 over 3. Oh, wait, that's nonsense. 4 over 3 plus 7. And your answer should be y equals to 1 over 3 and y equals 13 over 3. And the last one generally is this type of level 4 question, so we'll deal with it. But also, sometimes there's no need to panic too much. I'll put a yellow marker because I will do a lesson based on this part only. But I just wanted to show you something quickly. That sometimes questions like this, they're not that bad. Okay, so they said determine x and y. But they gave us two parts. They gave us 9x squared, or 9 to the power x actually, sorry. Right, so that's not a prime number, so I'm going to deal with it as shift factor, and I'm going to get 3 squared to the x. To be honest, I would get that, which is 3 to the 2x. 45 to the 7 is a little bit of an iffy one. 45, if I put 45 shift fact, I'm going to get 3 squared to the 5. So again, this equals to 3 squared multiplied 5, and that's to the power of 7. And then 15 is a bit of a troublesome one too, because 15 is 3 times 5. Now, we sitting with all of the prime numbers, so it's easy to deal with because we can start to add all the x's, we can start to add all the y's, we can start to add all the 3's, all the 5's, and start to deal with all of the like terms. But here, let's deal with this one first. This is 3 to the 14 multiplied by 5 to the 7. Remember, this is the power law. Power raised to power, we multiply. The next one is times 3 to the minus y times 5 to the minus y. Okay. Now again, we can deal with this quite simply. Really, really simply, because I can add the like terms up. The like bases, let's say bases, and that's algebra law 1, which is 3 to the 14 minus y times 5 to the 7 minus y. Now guys, if the left-hand side equals to the right-hand side, then we got a tiny bit of a problem. Okay, we got a tiny bit of the problem because I can match the 3's. Guys, I want you to see I can match the 3's. See, the 3 and the 3 can match. What does that mean? That means that if I match the 3's, that's 3 to the 2x equals to 3 to the 14 minus y. A little bit of a difficult one. I can cancel. And I end up with 2x equals to 14 minus y. Okay, cool. That might work out, but we don't know what x is and we don't know what y is. So let's leave that one side. But I did match the 3's, okay? Now the 5, I cannot match the 5. Why? Because there's no 5 on the other side. But guys, realistically, we need to also remember that 5 to the 0 equals to 1. So even if the 5 to the 0 was there, we wouldn't know because we wouldn't be able to see it, but we can assume that the 5 to 0 is there because 5 to 0 equals to 1. And 1 times this is just 1, guys. 1 times 3 is just going to be 3. So we can deal with that part. And now we end up with 0 equals to 7 minus y. And if I take the y over, I get y equals to 7. Now that I have a very simple value of y equals to 7, I can deal with this part because this is 2 into x equals to 14 minus 7. And this will be equal to 7 and 2x. Divide by 2, x equals to 3.5. Now that I solved for x and y, all right, this is where I compared the left-hand side to the right-hand side. They told me that it's equal, so I compared it. But now that I have x and y, please don't forget to answer the question. They wanted us to solve. What they really wanted was for us to solve x plus y. So x plus y would be 3.5 plus 7 equals to 10.5. But again, I do understand this question is a bit difficult to deal with, so we will do a lesson where I only do level 4 questions. But that's all there is to this question. Okay, guys, the next paper would be, if I'm not mistaken, this would be the NSC paper from 2025. It's also quite simple to deal with. 2-mark questions like this. Please don't go and open it up with FOIL and then try and solve it. I mean, you can. It doesn't really matter, but this is x equals to minus 5, x equals to positive 2. You can do whatever you need to do on this question. As long as you get the marks, it's fine. But, I mean, let's not waste time. Next one, we can see automatically 2 decimal places means they want us to solve it with the quadratic equation. That's a bit of nonsense. X squared plus 9x plus 2 equals to 0. My A is equal to 5. My B is equal to 9. My C is equal to 2. That's minus B plus minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. I am skipping the minus B formula, but you guys would be able to do this and minus 0.26 or x equals to minus 1.54. The next one, the moment we see a less than, greater than, equal to sign, anything like that there, we know there's a graph, number line, or interval. It doesn't matter, it's up to you. Sorry, guys, it's up to you guys. But that's 8 squared less than 2x. 8 squared minus 2x less than 0. Guys, again, you can use the minus B formula. You could use C as 0 if you wanted to. A as 8 and B as minus 2. Or you could take out a common factor of 2x. So if I take out 2x as a common factor, I'm left with 4x minus 1. And that's greater than 0. I get 4x. Let's just use critical points, right? Easy to deal with, or critical values. There equals thing. I get x equals to 0. Or x equals to 1 over 4. Guys, you do not even need to use a ruler for this. Just draw. Oh, that's a very bad drawing, guys. Let's try again. Yeah. This is 0 and a quarter. And that's all there is to this question, right? We can see the values would go there. The values would go there. But even if you didn't want to do that, guys, you could have said x is less than 0. X is greater than 1 over 4. Up to you guys to decide what you want to do. The next one, generally, this would be your level 3, level 4 question, but it's quite simple as well. Okay. It's quite simple. You see, normally I would look at questions like this and I would try and simplify the 9 because it's not a, how do I put it? It's not a prime number. So I would make it 3 squared and then I would make the 4 into 2 squared and I would deal with it. But also, sometimes it's difficult to deal with it. So let's say let 2 to the x equal to k. So now I end up with 2k squared because if x equals to k, 2x is going to be equal to k squared minus 9k plus 4. And that equals to 0. When I solve this with the minus b formula again, this minus b formula and you guys are going to be best friends, so make sure to get it right. K equals to half or k equals to 4. Guys, again, your a value is 2, your b value is minus 9, your c value is 4. So that's 2 to the x equals to half. 2 to the x equals to 4. We can use log. You could use anything you want to deal with from here, but this would be 2 to the minus 1. Cancel, cancel. X equals to minus 1. This one will be 2 to the x equals to 2 to the 2. Cancel, cancel. X equals to 2. And that's all there is to this question. Quite simple. Next one, I understand. The next one, I understand. This is your level 4. I'm going to put a mark by it. We're going to do it. But again, I'll make a video based on only these types of questions, okay? So let's start. Firstly, I would square this both sides, right? I would square this. And if I square it, I got rid of that part. So this would be 1 over x, and that's plus 2. And that equals to, this is tricky, right? Because when you square it now, 1 squared, guys, I'm going to write here, that's 1 squared, and that's root x squared. So this is 1 over x. That's all. Okay? Because the square is going to cancel with the square root. Now, again, the next part is a bit iffy as well. Might take a little bit of effort, but let's take the plus 2 over. That's 1 over x minus 2. And that equals to root 1 over x. Of course, we're going to square again. If I square again, if I square here and I square here, this one ends up as FOIL, guys. And it becomes a bit difficult, so don't mess it up. But if it ends up as FOIL, this one cancels out. Okay, this one goes as 1 over x, to be honest. Quite simple. And this one opens up as 2 brackets. 1 over x minus 2. 1 over x minus 2. Now, if we deal with FOIL, 1 over x times 1 over x is 1 over x squared. If we deal with FOIL, this becomes minus 2 over x minus 2 over x, and that's plus 4. Now, you and I can deal with all of the like terms. Again, I do understand it's difficult. I'm not saying it's not, but we can deal with it quite simply, right? Because this is minus 4 over x plus 4. Now, guys, don't forget about that part because we need to take it over. Let me just simplify this as far as I can. Okay. So, don't forget about this part here. Sorry, wrong one. This one here, because they're like terms. And they might be a little bit difficult at the start, but this is 1 over x squared minus 5 over x plus 4. Okay, now if we deal with this again, I do understand questions like this become difficult, but from here we can solve it quite easily. Okay, guys. Yeah, from this point, I guess things are a bit difficult to deal with, but we can multiply each term by x squared. And when we do that, we end up with x squared and x squared cancels out, right? So we end up with 1 minus, guys, I just want to show you what's happening. You see, when we multiply each term by x squared, that's going to cancel out. We're left with 1. When we multiply minus 5 over x by x squared, 1 is going to cancel out there, and we're left with minus 5x. And then 4 multiplied by x squared equals to 4x squared. So if we deal with this question, we end up with 4x squared minus 5x plus 1. Use the minus b formula and solve. But also, I do understand that questions like this, there. Now remember, I taught you guys when you see a root, you need to test. Take the answer and put it back into x. 1 over 4 is going to work out, and then the positive 1 is not going to work out. Okay? Put the answer back into the question, you'll see. Just substitute it for x. But again, I don't think this question is very fun. So you and I are going to find a different way to do it. Let's try and see if we can find something else that doesn't deal with all of the square roots. So we got 1 square root, and we got another square root, and then we got plus 2, and then we got equals to 1 over root x. Okay, so again, what if we said let k equal to 1 over root x? So if we did that, you can see that this and this are exactly the same term, because root 1 is just 1 and root x is root x. So I think if you and I said this is k, and that's a root k plus 2, that's all there is to this question, because I could square that, I could square that, and now I end up with k squared. Here I end up with k plus 2. And if I solve it, I get k squared minus k minus 2 equals to 0. If I factorize this with the minus b formula, or if I solve for k, I'm going to end up with k equals to 2, or k equals to minus 1. Guys, the reason 1 over x all squared is the same thing is because root 1 and roots there equals to 1 over root x. So it's the same thing, right? Just know it's the exact same thing. Okay. So that part should be fine. Thereafter, let's replace it with what it was. 1 over root x equals to 2. 1 over root x equals to minus 1. And we'll try and solve it. We'll try and solve it because this is 1 equals to 2 into root x. Let's solve 1 over 2 equals to root x. If I square both sides, I end up with x equals to 1 over 4. That one works out. Here, this is minus 1 actually. So this is 1 over, let's take the root x over actually. Minus 1 root x. If I take the minus 1 back over, that's 1 over minus 1 is minus 1 equals to root x. This one is a bit of a problem. Square, square, and x equals to 1. But remember, we have to test, and that doesn't equal. Now the next one, J, shouldn't be too difficult to deal with. I do think I do think my laptop's being a bit glitchy, so I apologize, but let's see if we can get the next one done properly. Okay. I also think this is a very big document, so scrolling to it is causing some problems. But guys, this question, straightforwardly, it looks like it's difficult. Maybe, maybe not. It's not that bad. Let's go. X is the sum of 2 and y. So what this is saying is x is equal to the sum of 2 plus y. That's equation 1. 5 times the product of x and y, so it means 5 times x and y, is 6 more than the square of x. So it's equal to x squared plus 6. And this is equation 2. Guys, equation 3 is, it's fine. Why do I want to do that, right? See, guys, this is okay to use as equation 3, realistically. I don't want to use it as equation 3, right? Because there's more x's. That means I'm going to substitute more times. But I mean, if you use it, go for it. It's fine. Let's sub 3 into 2. The reason I made y the subject of the formula is there's only one y. So this is 5x into y, which is x minus 2. And this equals to x squared plus 6. This is 5x squared minus 10x. And this equals to x squared plus 6. When I move everything over, I end up with 4x squared minus 10x minus 6 equals to 0. When I use my minus b formula, yes, this minus b formula, you used it quite a bit. But I mean, it works, so let's go with it. Our x values are going to be equal to half. Our x values are going to be equal to 3. Guys, you'll know the rule. Substitute back into equation 3. Y equals to x minus 2, actually. Y equals to x minus 2. And this is y equals to half minus 2. Y equals to 3 minus 2. So y equals to 1 over 2. Oh, y equals to, you know what, guys? Let me double check because that'll be x minus 2. Oh, okay, this is minus 2 per... the x value is a problem. This is minus half, actually. Please double check. Minus 5 over 2. And this is y equals to 1. Please double check, guys. My calculator work sometimes will be off with algebra, so double check all answers. Very easy to make a mistake with this part, but that's all there is. And this was a NSC paper, so as difficult as it gets for 2025. Not that bad. Okay, guys, we're going on with the Northern Cape 2025 paper. Generally, I can look at this and see that it's not really a level 4 paper, some of it. Yeah, you can go and do the minus b formula if you want, right? To be honest, you can do the minus b formula. You can use a as 1. You can use b as 1. You can use c as 0. But you could also take out x as a common factor. And you're left with x plus 1 equals to 0. Then you separate it. X equals to 0. X plus 1 equals to 0. So x equals to minus 1 or x equals to 0. And that's all there is to this question. The next one, the minus b formula, guys. I am skipping stuff that I don't want to make the video like 10 hours long for something that you guys can do. And that equals to 1. Use the minus b formula to get 1 mark. Substitute to get 1 mark. And then get your answers to get 1 mark. So x equals 2, 1.43, and x equals to 0.23, right? For those of you that don't know how to do this minus b formula, maybe I'll create some shorts or something just so you can practice it. But this is generally exam lesson, so it's not teaching. It's me going through level 1, 2, and 3 questions. So this one is 2x squared minus 5x minus 7, and that's less than or equal to x there. Let's use a equals to 2, b equals to minus 5, c equals to minus 7. Again, remember when you see the sign, it's a graph. Find the critical points. Let's just do this one, you know. I keep skipping the minus b formula. B squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I would get minus b, minus into minus 5, plus or minus the square root. That is minus 5 squared minus 4 into a into c all over 2 into a. We're going to end up with two answers. X equals 2 minus 1. X equals 2 3.5. Right? Guys, again, draw your graph. That's minus 1. That's 3.5. And then just draw a rough sketch. We should be good. If you don't want to put this line there, that's fine as well. It doesn't really matter, right? If you don't want to use that, don't. Use this then. But you should be fine either way. The next one, okay, we can consider the next one to be a little bit of a level 4 question. I guess so. Yeah. The next one we can consider to be level 4 maybe. There's no need for us to stress or no need for us to panic, but we can use our same method. Let's use let 3 to the x equal to k. I think that makes it easy. So we end up with k squared minus 9 equals to 24k plus 72. Let's rearrange. We end up with k squared minus 24k, because I'm going to take the plus over, minus 9 minus 72 is minus 81, and that equals to 0. Use your minus b formula again. You're going to end up with k equals to 27. K equals to negative 3. Substitute the k value back. So that's 3 to the x equals to 27. That one is x equals to 3, right? If you don't know how I did that, if you don't know how I did that, that's 3 cubed, 3 to the x, cancel, x equals to 3. This one is 3 to the x equals 2 minus 3, and this does not work out. There will be no solution for this, right? So that's fine. The next one, remember guys, the rule, when we have a root, it's time to test. Okay, so always test your answers. One is not going to work out, or maybe it both works out, but test. When we take the square root over, we're going to square it, and we end up with x squared plus 14 equals to, this will be 9x squared. Right? Oh no, it'll be 9 actually. So that's nonsense, guys. Remember, 3 squared is 9. And then the square root, guys, if I have the square root of x squared, that just equals to x. Right, so that's 9x. And then from here, it's a joke. From here, it's quite simple. That's x squared minus 9x plus 14 equals to 0. Minus b formula again, guys. This minus b formula is carrying the entire algebra section. And then x equals to 7, x equals to 2. I think both does work out, so it doesn't matter. But substitute properly. Remember, your a is equal to 1, your b is equal to minus 9, your c is equal to 14. That's all there is to this question. Yeah. Let's try and move this out the way. Guys, the simultaneous question generally doesn't look too bad. 5x minus 4 equals to y. That's equation 3. We're going to sub 3 into 2. There's my equation 2. And here, that becomes x squared minus x plus y squared. So that's there. And that equals to 4 minus 3 into there. Guys, if you do FOIL, remember this is FOIL, open up 2 brackets, okay? Open up 2 brackets. So we should end up, let's see if I can do it in one step though, right? 25x squared. I know that's 16. I know that's positive 16. And this should be minus 40x if I can get it right? But yeah, if I can do it in one step. Okay, but we'll double check, right? I just took a chance just to see if I got it right, but just for fun, guys. So this is minus 15x, and that's plus 12x. And yeah, let's start to add up the like terms. If we start to add up the like terms, we end up with 26x squared. Minus 26. Ooh, okay, minus 26. Minus 26x. And then that there is plus 0. Okay, it cancels out, right? All the constants cancel. Guys, I moved everything over to one side. I dealt with the like terms first. If you'll want me to deal with that, I can, but I mean, generally, this is not too bad. Ooh, that one doesn't go there. Let me try and change the colors, guys. Okay. That's minus. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 are like terms, and then yeah. So again, you can use the minus b formula if you want. If you don't want, that's fine as well. All you can do is take out 26 as a common, 26x as a common factor. But your 2x answers would equal to 0 and x equals to 1. If you did not use the minus b formula, we would take out 26x as a common factor, and you're left with x minus 1 equals to 0. Right? And now when we substitute back into the y formula, this equals to 5 into 0 minus 4 equals to y. 5 into 0 minus 4. The 0 was not supposed to be there. The 1 was supposed to be there. And my two values equal to minus 4 equals to y, or y equals to 1. That's all. So it's up to you guys. It's good. Now this question is annoying. It is level 4. A little bit, just in understanding. After that, calculation is fine. They want us to simplify this, and they want to put out a calculator. I'm going to use a calculator just to make it easy for me. Generally, I can see everything is kind of a 2, right? It is a 2, so this would be 2 to the power 2, all to the power 24. So that's 2 to the 48. Right. Let's go to the next one. This is 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 16, which is going to be 3 times 16, 32, 48, 2 to the 48. 16 to the 12 is 2 to the power 4 multiplied by 12, which is 2 to the 48. 64 to the 8 is 2 to the power of, is it 5? Guys, just give me a second. I think it's 6 or something, maybe. 6, it is 6. And that's 8. Okay, and I know my timetable is 6 times 8 is 48. And all of that equals to 2 to the k. Now, guys, if I take out 2 to the 48 as a common factor, I'm left with 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. And that equals to 2 to the k. Now, this one is iffy. Might be a bit difficult from here, but, ooh, okay. So this one is 2 to the 48. My pen stopped working, but okay, cool. So this is 2 to the 48 multiplied by 4 equals to 2 to the k. Now, 4 can become 2 squared multiplied by 2 to the 48, and that equals to 2 to the k. Now, because all are 2's, it's quite simple to deal with. This is algebra law 1. So that's 2 to the 48 plus 2 is 50 equals to 2 to the k. And imagine all this nonsense, k just equals to 50, and we're done. And that's all there is to this question. Okay, guys, the next paper that we deal with is Mpumalanga. It's 2025. The first question, we know we're going to take out 2x as a common factor. And I'm left with 3x minus 1 equals to 0. 2x equals to 0, therefore x equals to 0. And 3x minus 1 equals to 0, therefore x equals to a 1 over 3. And that's all there is to this question. Now, the next one, definitely it's a minus b formula, but yeah. This is plus 4x, and that'll be minus 1. Guys, you could have moved the 2x over if you wanted to. I generally try and make the first term positive because of completing the square and stuff. Later on, you learn that it has to be positive and it has to be 1 and stuff like that. But I mean, generally, this is the minus b formula. Substitute and get your answer. But let me double check. So a lot of you have the 991 calculator. So what you can do is technically just use the equation to solve. But I get x equals to 0.22 and x equals to minus 2.22. I know I'm skipping the minus b formula, but this is more grade 10 work. Now, plus there should be a video on the minus b formula. So yeah, you can watch it. Remember, this is a root. So whenever I have a root, I'm worried about testing. I need to test if my x answers are real or if it's not real. But I'll take the plus 4 over and I get minus 4. And that's x minus 2. I'm going to square both sides. And this is going to be FOIL. So it's going to end up as x squared plus 16. And that should be minus 8x unless I made a mistake. I'm hoping I didn't. That's x minus 2. And then we deal with it, right? So this is x squared. This is minus 9x. And this is minus, this is positive 18 equals to 0. So x equals to 6. X equals to 3. Now, guys, again, test your answers. This was the minus b formula, but you know what? I keep saying test. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean by test. So I'm going to say 6 minus 2 plus 4 needs to equal to 6. So 6 minus 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So 2 plus 4 equals to 6. I mean 6 equals to 6. That one works out. So I know that's correct. If I test it again with 3, That's 3 minus 2. I wrote 3 there. Maybe I'm a bit 3 minus 2 plus 4 equals to 6. That's root 1 plus 4 equals to 6. That's 5 equals to 6. That doesn't work out. So that's what I meant by test. Where you see x, just go and substitute it. Just go and substitute it. Oh, wait, sorry, guys. That one's nonsense, right? That's a bit of nonsense that I wrote here, but I mean, it still doesn't work out, but it's nonsense. Yeah. Just remember this one was 3, yeah? But it still doesn't work out. The next one, generally, I don't think it's level 4. But you guys struggle with this, right? You'll always struggle with it, so let's solve it. I would say let 3 to the 2x equal to k. So now 4x will be k squared minus 8k minus 9 equals to 0. Okay? Minus 9 equals to 0. So you and I can work on this quite simply, because I'm going to use the minus b formula again, and I'm going to end up with k equals to, let me double check for myself, right? Because very easy to make a mistake. That's 1. That's minus 8. That's minus 9. Guys, I'm using a calculator to deal with a shortcut. K equals to 9. K equals to minus 1, right? This is 3 to the 2x equals to 9. I know that can work out. 3 to the 2x equals to minus 1. This one will never work out. Let's solve this one here. This is 3 to the 2x equals to 3 to the 2. Cancel, cancel. 2x equals to 2. X equals to 1. That's all there is to this question. The next one is a graph question, of course. If we use the minus b formula and you solve this, we get critical points of x equals to minus 4, x equals to 3, right? Guys, draw your graph. That's minus 4, that's 3, and yeah, remember it's not equal to but it's quite simple to deal with. If you don't want to use critical points, go for it. I mean, if you don't want to use a graph, x is less than minus 4, x is greater than 3. That's fine. Simultaneous might be the only annoying question, or the next one, but again, what there is there more x's, more y's? Okay, let's just go with x, right? X equals to 3 plus y. That's equation 3. Sub 3 into 2. Okay, so let's deal with it. X squared. So where I see x, I'm going to substitute my x value. That's x squared minus that nonsense multiplied by y minus 2y squared equals to 10. Most likely you're going to bring the 10 over and you're going to solve it. Quite simply. But this is generally an easy question. Okay, from here, you and I could work on this quite simply. This would be a y squared plus 6y plus 9. This would be minus 3y squared plus minus y squared. Let's try again. This is minus 3y, right? I'm trying to do it quicker, but this is minus 3. Okay. Guys, minus 3 multiplied by y is minus 3y. Minus y multiplied by y is minus y squared. That's minus 2y squared, and that's minus 10 equals to 0. When I start to add all of the like terms, most likely I'm going to end up with minus 2y squared. I'm going to end up with 1, 2 plus 3y. And I'm going to end up with 9 minus there is minus 1. Okay, guys, start to add all the like terms. Remember, like terms are all the y squareds and all the y's. Let's deal with the minus b formula. We're going to deal with the minus b formula, and y should equal to half, and y should equal to 1. X would be equal to 3.5. And x will be equal to 4, right? Because you know we have to substitute into the y formula. I mean, into the third equation. So again, guys, please understand, this is not a teaching lesson. It's just for exams to make sure I help you guys answer the questions. The teaching lessons were done before. So it is faster paced, but also don't panic if you guys don't understand, because just go back and watch the algebra videos. And that's all there is to this question. The next one generally is level 4. I understand it's level 4, but we'll be able to do it. I'll put a mark here because I'll do a question where it's level 4 and it's a little bit simpler to deal with. But these questions generally are trick questions, right? When I mean trick, I mean you guys would think it's difficult, or you might feel like it's a little bit too difficult, but it's fine. Right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deal with this bracket, right? Let me show you what would happen. When I do FOIL on this bracket, what happens is I end up with a squared minus b squared, right? When I distribute this bracket, I end up with 16 ab minus 2b squared. Okay, now questions like this, I don't think are too difficult to deal with, because I can't take this part over. So I can take this part over. Let's see if I can get a color to work. I can take this part over, and minus becomes plus. So guys, I end up with a squared minus b squared plus 2b squared, and that equals to 16ab. Okay, now minus 1 plus 2, that's a squared plus b squared equals to 16ab. Okay, now we have this part, right? This one shouldn't be something where you struggle with. But let's leave it here, right? So this is done. They want us to determine a plus b squared in terms of ab. Now just imagine that everything that you did here, all of this was just a setup for the proper question that was about to happen. Okay, so let's deal with it. The next question. Yeah, that's better. But the next question, guys, the next part of this is generally simple as well, okay? What we would do is you and I would try and focus on the next part. So we go with a plus b all squared. When you open this up with FOIL, we end up with a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now, guys, you and I already know that a squared plus b squared, you see these two? Plus 2ab, I'm just rearranging it. This nonsense equals to 16ab plus 2ab And our final answer is just 18ab. So the entire question was to get this, was to deal with this part so that I knew that was equal to that. And now we know for a fact that a plus b squared equals to that nonsense. And that was in terms of a and b, because they wanted it a multiplied by b. But that's all there is to this question.